OCLionsFan.com and City Soccer Talk are back doing a match preview for this Saturday's game versus Dallas. It'll be July 11th, and we have a new panelist with us this week, Derek. Say hello, Derek.
What's up, folks?
All right, and Ron, as usual, say hey, Ron.
Hey, guys.
All right, so typically, our format is we talk a little bit about Dallas and then Orlando City, but I put 3 people off last week, so we're going to hop right into the transfers. We're going to be real brief because we have no concrete information yet. So, in my opinion, I think we need a backup left back to go behind Bowden, and I think we need a right winger. I don't care where we get a right winger from or who we get, as long as they can come in and put in a solid shift for us. I wouldn't even mind it being somebody rotating with Avila. I would prefer somebody a little more attacking-minded than defensive-minded, and if they could have some speed, maybe not top speed like Rivas, but just faster than Avila, I would be happy. Derek, what do you think about transfer-wise? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, everything's speculation, so just personal thoughts is fine, or maybe tell...
I think we'll make just minor changes to the squad, maybe a backup defender, maybe that right wing you were talking about. Hopefully Shea gets healthy, because I think Rivas could play on the right as well. That would have good. That'd make speed on the right. That'd be pretty good with him and Ramos.
All right. Oh, are you still there? Yep. Yeah. All right, Ron.
Well, I mean, if this week doesn't prove what they need, I mean, they obviously need some midfielders. It's going to be hard for Heath to even field I don't know how he's going to field the lineup this week, but it's going to be difficult.
They probably have like 17 players again.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't. If they want to play a 4-2-3-1 this week, I don't know that they have the players to do it. They might have to switch formations. So I think they have to find a midfielder who can play either side. I mean, most midfielders can play both sides nowadays. So they definitely need somebody there. And we now see with Kaká out, it's hard to go get a backup for Kaká because you're never going to need him until Kaká goes down or gets hurt. So, but that's the one position we have nothing else for. And like you said earlier with Luke Bowden, so I think left back, I think a wide midfielder, and somebody who can play centrally, either at striker or center attacking mid, kind of like Ribeiro, because this team is just way too thin right now.
All right. Well, like I said, we don't have any concrete information. The team hasn't given us anything, so we'll be brief about transfers just to put a name out there, an MLS player that I would like to see maybe come to us who, I'm just totally making this up, so don't take this. I wouldn't mind seeing Harry Shipp come or somebody like that who can put in a solid shift. Derek, do you think is there an MLS player that comes to mind that you think would be accessible and affordable for Orlando City to get that you would like to see come?
For me, it would be Patrick Mullins with New York City. I mean, he doesn't really start, but he's been a good player with New England. Played on their MLS runner-up team last year. What you've seen whenever he comes off the bench with New York, the kid can score, the kid can play. And he was in the expansion draft. That's how New York got him.
All right, and Ron, maybe a MLS player that you would like to see come, or would be maybe like a more realistic option than going out and splashing a big name. Just somebody who comes to mind. We're just purely speculating here.
Yeah, that's really tough because anybody that's any good that could do us a job, they're not likely to be available unless we just trade allocation money or something like that. I don't have anybody off the top of my head. If they had to go get somebody or look for one position, it's going to be a midfielder. So it could be a defensive or I don't have anybody off the top of my head though in MLS.
All right. Well, there you guys have a little bit of transfer information for you. You're going to continually hear out of me that I want to give you concrete transfer information. So, I know this. I'm exposed to the soccer world. I have an English team, and I'm exposed to all the transfer rumors, and I really despise it. So, I'm just going to try and give you guys concrete information, just slightly speculating. So, but anyway, we'll hop into match preview now. As I said before, we got Dallas. We're at home. It's Saturday night, 7:30 night game. So weekend and nights, we should be able to get our regular 30,000 out there. Dallas is really good. They have 29 points, which only attests them to be, I think, 5th in the West, but that would put him second in the East. They have 2 designated players. One is Fabian Castillo. He leads their team in goals and assists with 7 goals, and he's second on the team in assists with 5. Sorry, their second designated player, I'm really gonna butcher this guy's name, is Mauro Diaz.
Yeah.
And I got it right.
Mauro Diaz, yeah.
Yeah, that was close. And he has 6 assists. He leads the team in assists. So in their last 5, they've had 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. But with that said, in their last 5 road games, they've had 2 draws and 3 losses. So they've been pretty bad on the road. And we got lots to talk about, guys. So we'll talk a little bit about Dallas. I mentioned their designated players. Derek, is there either their designated players that you think is particularly better than one or the other?
I think Fabian Castillo is the one that could possibly give us problems on Saturday. I mean, his pace is absolutely fantastic. His ball skills are absolutely fantastic. If you watch him on video, the kid can play. I mean, he's only 25, I think. He's in his lower 20s in age. I mean, he actually leads MLS in dribbles taken on defenders. He can beat a defender, and he's led the league in that category 3 out of the past 4 years and leads it again this week. And I was watching the MLS top plays this week. He had a play where he made London Woodbury look like a total idiot in their 3-0 defeat in New England. He basically crossed them over 3 times and then places a good ball into the box. Like you said, he has 7 goals and 5 assists this year. So pretty decent numbers for that team. And he's made over 100 appearances in 4 years with Dallas, so he's a consistent fixture in that lineup.
And Derek, I just have one more question about Castillo. Do you know what position exactly he plays? I thought he was an outright striker, but we talked a little before we started. And in answering your question, can you tell me what position you think we'll see him in versus us?
When Dallas has all their players, he usually plays on the left wing against Ramos. This week, they are missing Blas Perez and Tesho Akindele for Gold Cup duty. I think he'll end up playing striker this week.
All right.
That's just my personal opinion. I mean, him and Mauro Diaz, like you said, they're both extremely dangerous, and Diaz has been on absolute fire lately.
All right, and Ron, do you have any thoughts about Dallas, maybe about their formation or somebody on their team that maybe hasn't been mentioned yet?
Well, I mean, they're like us. They play a 4-2-3-1, and like Derek said, they're missing Blas Perez, so they're having striker issues just like we are. So you probably will see Castillo up top. If you don't, I would imagine left wing would be where he's at, and maybe they throw Diaz or somebody else up there, but. The good news is they'll be shorthanded too, just like us. So
yeah, they're 4 down.
Yeah,
so we're missing 3 for Gold Cup and Breck, and they're missing 4 Cup.
All right. Well, I think we'll. Everything that I know about Dallas, they have already mentioned, so we'll just move right along here. As far as Orlando City goes, I think obviously. If we're going to change formations, this is going to be a week where we do it. The last 2 games where we were really shorthanded, we changed formations early in the year in Montreal and got a draw. And then we changed formations in a big win away at Portland. So I don't know what Heath has up his sleeve this week. Under the assumption that we'll play our typical formation, in my opinion, I think we see Neal slot in to Kaká's role. We see Akugo come on at defensive mid, Avila and Rivas on the wings, and Ribeiro up top. Ron, what do you think about this week's formation?
I wouldn't bet anything on. I wouldn't try to bet anything on getting this one right. If they go with the 4-2-3-1, I have a feeling Ribeiro would drop to attacking mid, and you'd see Rivas up top. Is that what you just said?
No, I said Neal to the Kaká's role,
right.
Ribeiro up top.
I heard Neal's carrying a little bit of a knock. I'm hoping he can play, but that would be. I mean, if we don't have him, I mean, he can be so versatile. You can use him on the left, you can use him on the right, you can use him in the middle. So
he knows the system. He can play wherever, really.
Yeah. So if we don't have Neal, they might have to change formations out of necessity. If they have Neal, I do like your idea of him playing attacking mid. If we want to, I would prefer that because I want to leave Rivas on the left. But we've seen that Heath doesn't mind putting Rivas at striker, which I think is terrible for him. He can't time his runs. It doesn't work out well. But if you remember last week when Kaká got his red card, they changed to a 4-4-1 basically, and they had Rivas at striker and Ribeiro dropped back a little bit more. So that might shed some light onto what Heath is thinking this week. But, I mean, your guess is as good as mine this week. It's going to be tough. But I think we'll see Okugo, and I think he has to play this week, finally.
All right, and Derek, what about formation and players or just players in general?
I saw a suggestion this week about playing 4-4-2 with our normal defense without Colin. Midfield would be Avila, Higuita, Okugo, and Rivas. No, not Rivas. Neal on the left, with Ribeiro and Rivas up top. I'm not quite sure about that. I mean, it's literally a crapshoot. We won't know until the lineup comes out.
All right.
Any formation you want.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
You can guess any formation you want.
All right. And, so you just got maybe three different formations from all three of us and all with different lineups. So, we don't know. I guess more speculation as much as I don't enjoy speculation.
Well, let's stay here for a second. Do we think the best way to deal with Kaká being out is to try to hide the center attacking mid position? Or do you think the best thing is to just keep the status quo and put players in to the 4-2-3-1 wherever we think is best? Because I have a feeling they might just try to hide the center attacking mid. You can kind of do that in a 4-5-1 a little bit, or you can do it in a 4-3-3 a little bit. I don't like Ribeiro at center attacking mid and then trying to have to keep up with Rivas on the left. I don't see the offense clicking very well if that's the case. So, if there's ever a week to switch formation, it's definitely this week.
All right, Derek, I'll let you answer Ron's question, then I'll give my opinion last.
What was the question again?
Well, the question was, do you think they should just try to hide the center attacking mid position since we don't have a great like-for-like replacement?
If there's no one you think can aptly play the position, they have no choice but to hide it. So outside of Ribeiro, I'm not sure anyone knows how to play it well, really. Maybe Neal.
I think that we keep formation. I know Heath has been very consistent in his formation, and I know he switched when we were shorthanded, but I think we're going to stay formation this week. And if Neal does have a knock and can't go, then I think that we'll move Ribeiro down, and as bad as this sounds, we might see just Maguana at striker or something. I have no idea.
I think there's a possibility you could see him.
Yeah, I think so.
Strikers, that's just a fate worse than death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see it, but I don't think that our formation is going to change as much as it's changed before. And so, Ron, where do you think we? I personally projected that we see Ribeiro up top and Neal in, and you mentioned and I mentioned just now if Ribeiro has to come back. So where do you think, Ron? I'll go right to you. Where do you think Ribeiro will be, and what effect do you think Ribeiro needs to have on this game for us to win?
Well, if we see a 4-2-3-1 formation, I have a feeling you'll see him at center attacking mid. But I mean, he's going to be at center attacking mid, or he's going to be at striker. But to get past that, Ribeiro's going to have to be huge because he's the only guy that, I mean, we're hoping Neal can. But if Neal, I heard Neal wasn't practicing with the team, he was off to the side. So I think Ribeiro's going to have to be, a match winner. I mean, he can play that position. That's what he was brought here to do, is be Kaká's backup. So that's why I'm thinking, well, let's see. It's time to see Kaká's backup. So, it's a big day for Ribeiro. I feel bad for him because he's had to play outside mid. He's had to play striker. It never seems to get a smooth set of games at one position. But he was brought in here to be like this, so he's ready for it. He wants to do it, and he likes being versatile. He likes playing all over the field. If you talk to him, he just wants to be on the field wherever Heath puts him.
All right, well, there you have it. And Derek, do you have any comments about Ribeiro that you'd like to add?
I think he'll end up playing striker, and for us to get anything out of this game, he's got to score. He's going to be the person. If we score goals on Saturday, he's going to be involved in it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, Ron's shaking his head, and I'm shaking my head, so we both obviously agree. So, with that said, we got a crazy lineup, and nobody knows what's going on. And Dallas is a good team, so I'm expecting to see. I said it last week, and he really performed well. Tally Hall was outstanding again. Do you guys think that we're going to need the same performance from Tally Hall to get a result versus Dallas? Derek first.
Yes. Yes.
Simple yes. All right. And Ron?
I think you might need to see a better performance, if you can say that. I mean, this is a scary game. Dallas is wide open. They can attack. I know they're missing players, but they're not a team that is just going to sit back and let you take the game to them. So
they're going to go at it.
Yeah, they're going to go at it, and I expect us to go at it. So, you could see a cagey draw, or you could see a wide open shootout, which is fine with me. I think we can still win this game, but Tally Hall is going to have to be amazing again. But he's good every game. He's the last person we need to worry about.
And just based off last game, what do you guys think about Hines and St. Ledger? They both almost had a scoring opportunity last game. I know they're defenders, and they're not supposed to put them away because that's not really probably what they're working on in training. But do you think that Dallas's attack with Castillo and Morrow will give Hines and St. Ledger any problems? Derek?
For me, Dallas is more of a speed-based attack. So Hines and St. Ledger, they're good in the air. Yeah, it's going to be up to Ramos and Bowden to stop their attack.
All right, and Ron?
Yeah, I agree. If you have Fabian Castillo running at Seb Hines, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
If he's running at Rafael Ramos, that's a little less of a problem.
Yeah, it's a little less. I mean, I'd rather keep Ramos outside. But, I heard also that Colin could be back. So, we might – which would help because he's really good in those one-on-one situations, and you're going to need it against these guys. I think, like you said, if we can limit them running at us, they're actually pretty good on set pieces, but without Blas Perez, that's a big human being that they're missing up top. So
I think Diaz scored on a set piece last week against New England.
Well, he scores almost every week on a set piece. It seems it, but if they can keep Castillo from running at the center defenders, then that'll be a good way to at least keep the score low.
That's where Higuita and whoever else is going to play defensive mid comes in.
Agreed.
Derek, who do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see a Kugo?
Has a Kugo even seen the field since New England?
Not as a starter.
Like maybe for 10 minutes.
So you don't think we'll see Kugo? You think we'll see Baby Heath?
Yeah.
You think Baby Heath? All right, and Ron, who do you think we'll see in the other spot?
I think
he played against DC. I didn't think he did too badly. So yeah.
I think you'll see a Kugo over Heath. I mean, Okugo's been coming in the late stages of every match, to help close it out last 10 minutes or whatever. It just depends. I mean, if they go with a formation where there's just one real deep lying central to, a defensive mid. That's it's really good for Okugo if they play just one real deep one. But I think you're going to see him anyways. I mean, if Neil can go, you'll see Neil. If Neil can't go, you have to see Okugo. I don't think he has enough trust in his own son yet.
All right, well, Derek, do you have any other general points that you would want to talk about in regards to Dallas?
Not much. I mean, they're a weird team. They really are. They'll come out of the season starting fiery hot. They won like their first 4 games.
Then they went real cold.
The year, and like you said at the beginning, they're not exactly the greatest road team.
All right. And Ron, you got any other general points about the game you want to make?
Well, I think more to Derek's point, they're just they're a team that they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde. You get two different teams when you see Dallas. I mean, they've been slaughtered by the Colorado Rapids 4-0 already this year.
4-0 at home.
Yeah, I mean, so if they're going to play like that on the road, I don't see why we don't beat them comfortably, even without Kaká and the rest of the guys. But if you get the good Dallas, you're in for a heck of a game. So, but if they're missing 3 or 4 guys, I like our chances anyways, just being at home, and we're in such a groove at the Citrus Bowl lately.
All right. Well, I'll just take that in. Let's jump right into projections. Derek, you're up first.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Ron?
I'm going 2-1, Orlando City.
You got Orlando City? All right. And I will go I'll go 2-0 Orlando City. I think that we're at home, so I think that plays in our favor. We've been really good against the Western Conference teams. We're 4-1-2 versus the Western Conference, so I think that plays in our favor. And I think both teams are equally shorthanded. So, I mean, they have their designated players, and we only have one of ours. I think that's maybe the only thing that tips to them. But yeah, I think 2-0, and I think Derek wanted to give one last shout out, and then I'll have Ron say bye, and then we're all set today.
For those of you listening, we are doing the new UCF supporters group, the Night Watch. Our first meeting will be July 16th at UCF. I don't know exactly what time it is. We are getting really involved with this group. They came out to our game a few weeks ago. I think it was New England or Columbus, to talk to us, and they really want us to come out there and get involved. So the more people we can get out there from Orlando City to help out, the better.
And Derek, is there contact information you can provide to the viewers?
I can post that later. I don't know. I mean, you could.
Okay.
UCF men's Twitter account. That's about all I got.
All right. And if he posts it later, I'll retweet it. So now, Ron, you got anything else you want to talk about, Ron?
Nope.
All right. Well, you can find Ron at citysoccertalk.com or on Twitter at citysoccertalk. You can find me, OCLionsFan.com, or on Twitter, OCLionsFan_TV. I also have a YouTube channel, which is just OCLionsFanTV, and I also have a Instagram, OCLionsFanTV. So, from me, Ron, and Derek, we appreciate the follow, guys. I hope everybody comes out, sings and screams, and I know the ILF and the Ruckus do their thing every week out there. I know Ron does his thing up in the press box, so everybody contributes their own way. So thanks for the follow, guys. Thanks for the watch. We will be back next week. Adios.
See you guys.